Hey there, I'm sending this video from across the ocean to say how much Narad is missed and just a few of the things that I remember about him. Just feel like there's so much of just like a spirit of Narad that you remember, of his huge smile and his laugh, and how much he welcomed everyone. He just loved his family so much, but also just made everyone else feel like family. And I have a lot of images in my mind of him with all of his different classmates, and especially Lapong, and them just kind of laughing together because they couldn't really speak the same language, but how much that didn't matter and how much he just welcomed and loved the people around him.
My name is Ron Roland, or as Narad would like me to say, Miro Nam Ron-ho. I was Narad's English and citizenship teacher, and he was my Nepali teacher. He was Miro Guru in Nepali. He taught me most of the Nepali words that I know, and while I don't know many of them, I enjoy using them as much as I can. For instance, he would say that I was his friend. He was my friend, Miro Sati. Or he would say that he was my older brother, or Miro Dadu.
One of the things that just sticks with me was the day that Narad told me that I was his Didi. And he told me that Didi meant big sister. And it was kind of like a baptism, you know? It was being named, not just a friend, but it was more than that. And so it says so much to me about what he valued. He valued that sense of connection and that sense of family that stretched beyond family. And part of that was teaching me Nepali. And I wasn't a very good student. And I was teaching him English, and he was a far better student of English than I was of Nepali. But Didi stuck, you know, that word that just says, this is who you are for me.
I'm so lucky to have known Narad and to be in my class for some time. His presence and dignity was always felt. He greeted the world and everyone that he encountered with love and openness, and it was a joy to see him at any time. I want to thank Narad and his family, especially for this dedication out here. The future people who hadn't had the chance to meet him. And last week I was thinking about what are the odds of me meeting Narad, and halfway around the world, 7.5 billion people, we met in Des Moines. How does that happen?
Narad was one of my favorite students that came to the Elder program because he always smiled. I can't remember any day that he didn't smile, even up to the last day that I saw him. And he always brought great cheer to every single student that came into our building. He was an ambassador for happiness. So he was greatly missed, and it was such a shock to all of us when we heard his passing. We are so thankful that he came to our program and shared himself so much.
One of the things I remember best about him was his humor, as many people have said. In class, he would often point to my somewhat large belly and said, "One baby." Later, as I gained a little more weight, apparently, at least in his eyes, he would say, 2 babies. So when I lost some weight, he did recognize that and said 1 baby again. But we had a lot of fun. I miss him, and I'm sure, and it's obvious that his friends and family miss him a great deal.
You could just see how much of a presence he really has at LSI and in his community. And at the farm, I know he's missed, and I know that a lot of what Tika does, and kind of the reason her why for farming and her why for being part of LSI is to honor her father. And so it's just great to see people come together and still share and remember his memory and his legacy.
My name is Simon Buchumi. I'm from Burundi, Bujumbura. When I come here, I got a good friend, Nepali friend, named Narad. He was a guy lovely. I like him, I love him, and his family too. When I meet my friend Narad, I was very happy. I was thinking about I am in my country, because he was not speaking English. Me too, I was not speaking English. Man, we will have good relationship in school, in garden, everywhere we meet, we were good friends. I love people from Nepal because Narad, he was very lovely. Thank you.
And the last thing I'll say is, whenever Narad came into the building, or I would encounter him on the street, we lived near each other, he would see me and a half a block away, he would open his arms wide, smile his beautiful smile, and say, "I am happy." And if I wasn't happy, I was after that. And I look forward to that always, and it will always be in my heart.
But one thing about Narad that I haven't seen anyone do as well as him was the way he could dance between cultures so well without giving up anything. He was proud of his Nepali heritage, wanted to teach us more about what his culture was like, what his country was like, what his world was like. But he was also an avid learner and wanting to learn more about what my world was like, what it was like to be in America. And with him, they never clashed. It was never insincere, but he was just able to dance between cultures and learn and teach, and just kind of bring his Nepali background growing up in southern Bhutan together with this new world that he was meeting here in America. We miss you, Narad.
Well, I wanted to say to Tika, thank you for today and for reminding me of Narad and all that he helped me get through. he helped me at a time in my life when he doesn't even know that he helped me. Our son was going through cancer treatment and ultimately passed away. And I was working at LSI teaching Narad and working actually with my son on the video and the interviews of Narad. And there's countless times when we were going through difficult times with Charlie's health that Narad gave me a lot of strength and inspiration and helped me kind of keep moving forward, because I knew that he had done the same thing. He had lived through a lot of challenging times, and yet he was still able to be strong and happy and spread joy in the world. So to that, I thank him, even though he never knew that. And I thank you again for reminding me of him today.
One day he was in the garden, and they were gardening over behind the IEC. And I don't even remember what it was that he pulled, but some herb from the garden. And it was not something, he knew it was something that I wasn't gonna be familiar with, and he wanted me to taste it. And it's like that moment just symbolizes all, it's, giving himself away. He just gave himself away. But he also wanted us to experience something, He wanted us to step into his world and he wanted to step into our world. And I just feel his presence always. And I love that. I just love that I feel his presence and that he's it's like he's not forgotten. He's not forgotten us. That he's kind of swooped us up and taken us right along with him into a land of connection and heart, So he's a part of my heart. I wear this all the time, and there are lots of people that I hold on to in this heart, but Narad is a part of my heart. I love that.